Alright, we got one from Cash Jordan. Go follow, guys. Let's see.
Businesses of all kinds are abandoning Washington, D.C.
In D.C. now, a troubling trend is hitting the city's dining scene. Nearly 900 restaurant jobs have disappeared just in the past few months.
Even restaurants.
Brunch spots on Capitol Hill to longtime bistros here in Georgetown. D.C. restaurants are closing at a rate of nearly 2 per week.
Large groups of teens and kids even younger have caused disruption.
Whoa.
Fireworks were thrown on busy public sidewalks. Some teens made their way into residential buildings.
That's crazy.
But Daniel says he worries about President Donald Trump's threats of a federal takeover.
Why?
Not just burglary crime, and we've both been burglarized numerous times, both my restaurants, numerous times. And so is everybody on the block.
What?
Numerous times. We started to see violence.
We're going to beautify the city. We're going to make it beautiful. That includes bringing in the National Guard, maybe very quickly, too.
ICE agents, Homeland Security, National Guard, the FBI, too. And the president
bring them all
claims it's
in.
because of crime here in the district and points to reports of the attempted carjacking on a former DOJ staffer. But a senior White House official saying it's much more than that. It's also part of the president's executive order to make D.C. safe and beautiful. That was.
Why would we not want our nation's capital to be safe and beautiful? But is the president lying? Is he over-exaggerating? Or is there a real crime problem here that's been going on for a while? That's not how you open a door.
Two masked men in all black shattered the front door of Palisades Nails and Spa on MacArthur Boulevard Northwest. With the alarm blaring, they quickly rummaged through the business.
You say to yourself, what is going on in this world? You know, what makes people think they can just break in and steal?
There's no
DC
consequences.
Metro Police say this salon is one of 4 businesses targeted in a brazen crime spree. It began in Southeast at this nail salon at 5:10 a.m. Investigators say the thieves smashed the front door. It's now boarded up.
These guys are animals.
The next 3 burglaries happened just minutes apart along MacArthur Boulevard in Northwest.
This
At
happened last
6:04,
fall, by the way.
suspects
It's been
broke
going on
into
for a
the
while.
Palisades Market in the 4500
Even the
block of
market.
MacArthur.
I'm worried about happening again.
The owner of the store, too scared to be shown on camera, shared surveillance video with us
Look at
that
these
shows
guys.
the thieves carrying away the store's ATM. How long have you owned this business?
5 years, almost 5 years.
And nothing
Yeah.
like this has happened?
No, nothing.
Things
4
are getting
minutes later,
bad.
the suspects are caught on camera breaking into Metro Motor. They smashed one of the garage windows, entered the business, and made off with the cash register and keys to a Chevy
Wow.
Cruze that they also stole.
So they stole the cash register and then they stole the getaway car they used to escape. How convenient for these criminals.
After that, they headed to Palisades Nails and Spa. The owner
Oh,
of
it's
the
the
salon
same
sent us
guys.
this video of the aftermath. The thieves took their cash register and also damaged their computer. We spoke with longtime customers.
It's really scary to know that people are breaking in.
MPD put out these photos of the suspects and the car they were seen driving in.
So they stole a cash register, a getaway car, and they used it to go on just a total crime spree. And this is just one incident, by the way.
And 3 others were hurt. McGovern says he and his business partner did not make the decision to close both Bryan locations lightly, but he says the past 3 to 4 months have not been trending right, both in terms of the cost of upkeep plus recent crime, which ultimately, he says, impacts business. We spoke with the Restaurant Association for Metropolitan Washington. They say some of the biggest challenges before operators today are just that: inflation, rent, and crime. The association CEO says it is something they are focused on helping resolve.
So if even the restaurants like this place, which closed a year ago, can't stay in business, what chance does any business here have? And how do the businesses that are left survive with their costs going straight up because of all this lawlessness?
June, marking the largest drop in years. Now, much of the blame, they say, lies with Initiative 82. Under the law, base pay for tipped workers is rising year by year, making labor costs tougher to manage. The D.C. Council has already stepped in, freezing the tipped wage at $10 an hour until 2026 and stretching out the timeline.
I don't know if that's
going to
solve it.
Until 2034. Mike Jones says it's not enough.
We're getting a lot of people who have been in this business for a long time and have made very good living working at whatever was $5 an hour, $8 an hour. But they weren't concerned about that minimum wage because their talent was in how they performed a service at the bar or at the dining room table. That gratuity was for entertainment. That gratuity was for doing a good job. Those people who were making great money are now not making good money, and they're leaving.
So because of new minimum wage requirements at some of these restaurants, the good workers aren't making as much as they used to, and the businesses now have to pay more with all of this crime taking place, pillaging these places, shutting them down on a regular basis.
Restaurants are suffering from that.
Now, One Fair Wage, an advocacy group behind Initiative 82, points to employment data showing record high restaurant jobs in D.C. as recent.
So then how did they just lose 900 jobs?
Investigation alleging that the restaurant industry funds front groups and spreads misleading research.
Misleading research. So all these businesses that are saying crime is shutting them down, and these 900 jobs that just disappeared in a report from 4 days ago, we're supposed to believe that's all fake news?
Hey, Tony, good morning. 2 words: civil unrest. That is how D.C. police described everything that has happened overnight in Washington. You can see here at City Center, there's still quite a police presence. And let me show you one of the reasons why they are here. This is the Gucci store.
Oh!
If you pulled up social
These
media
thieves have fine taste. Look at
pictures
that.
of this, or heard that there was a break-in at the Gucci store.
This wasn't fake news when it happened.
Has a panel over top. The other one there, straight through one of the security doors.
That guy going for a jog.
The building.
Walking through a war zone.
You know, damaged, kind of ripped away there, or ripped off of its hinges. That is just one of the places dealing with destruction this morning. I want to show
destruction
you that
which has been
that we got
off the
also
chain
from
and
social
unstoppable
media. Viewers
for
sent
over
it
a year, by the way.
This was the scene just hours ago in City Center. Police all up and down the street, a chopper high above. We know that this...
So a year ago, this was the capital of the United States. A lawless war zone where nobody has any reason to be on their best behavior because there are no consequences when people who are criminals do something that's wrong. Well, finally, we're going to get some consequences, and people are not happy about it.
FBI or any other federal law enforcement on the streets would clash with or erode.
Deploy the army.
But I don't know what that would mean for our city. I think the MPD, of course, they're not perfect, but they are doing the job that we're asking them to do. We're
no,
asking
they're not.
For efficient, but also
they can't
ethical
stop
policing.
This.
And I think that's what we're getting more of these days.
This isn't a partisan issue. This is a public safety issue.
Former Advisory Neighborhood Commissioner Kathy Henderson welcomes extra law enforcement.
Bring them in.
Which includes Benny Road Northeast. It has struggled with a resurgence in violence problems in recent years. She says she supports the request that U.S. Attorney Jeanine Pirro made to the D.C. Council today. Pirro asks them to reconsider 3 laws dealing with young offenders: the Second Chance Amendment, the Incarceration Reduction Amendment, which is coupled with the
Okay, so if you make people under a certain age immune from any type of consequence for criminal behavior, you create super soldier criminals who can do whatever they want and no one can stop them. That's what we're looking at here.
The president has been very clear that he's going to take the action necessary to secure the city of Washington for the people who live here, for all the American people and all who visit here. It's our capital city. It is more violent than Baghdad. It is more violent than parts of Ethiopia, parts of many of the most dangerous places in the world.
Worse than Baghdad.
So President Trump has threatened to overall, as you mentioned, federalize D.C. Right now, this is increasing federal law enforcement across the district. Kelly.
And we outlined it a bit at the top, but Kelly, what is behind
That's where it starts.
The timing here?
Yeah. Yeah, and like you mentioned, a lot of this coming from what happened to that Doge staffer. He has talked a lot about crime in the district for a while now, even as he moved here to Washington, D.C. to move into the White House. Overall, crime is down. Here's the stats we're looking at. Violent crime is down 26% this year to date.
Yeah, because half the people that get caught doing something either get released or the charges get dismissed or downgraded to a misdemeanor to the point where the person who's a criminal isn't anymore in terms of what the statistics look like, even though these people are very dangerous.
Yeah, that is a decision for the president. And I think that what the president was saying is that we're seeing far too much crime being committed by young people, 14,
super
15,
soldiers.
16, 17 years old,
Can't
that I
touch 'em.
can't get my hands on. I mean, I don't know if you've seen some of the pictures, but, you know, young people are coddled. and they don't need to be coddled anymore. They need to be held accountable. They shouldn't be going to arts and crafts in family court.
Yeah, that's the thing. If they're not going to be held accountable until they do something that is so terrible that the worst thing we can all imagine takes place and someone suffers irreparable harm, that's a dangerous situation, and that's what makes these places so unsafe.
Attacked 19-year-old Edward Korestein during an attempted carjacking. He was trying to protect his girlfriend. Police have arrested 2 teenagers from Hyattsville, but they are still looking for multiple suspects.
Those teenagers are going to get released.
This new photo of a person of interest in connection to Sunday's attack in Northwest. Now, all of this comes as a new study shows many people living in D.C.'s wards 7 and 8 just don't feel safe. And 7 News reporter John Gonzalez.
Why would they not feel safe? I thought crime was down.
Survey and what some community leaders are saying really needs to be done, John.
Melanie, as the White House deploys more federal officers throughout the city, it is creating quite a debate on the ground on the streets of D.C. Worth mentioning, we've been monitoring the downtown area this morning from the National Mall to DuPont Circle. We haven't seen any federal patrols posted up just yet this morning. Now in wards 7 and 8, a group of young researchers called Safety 7 have been talking to at least 150 residents. The majority say they do not feel safe in the city right now, and almost half say they stayed home last month simply out of fear.
Okay, so how can crime be down? It's 35% lower, but 46% more people are refusing to leave their homes because of crime. That doesn't add up. The math here is obviously broken. It's almost like the official statistics tell a completely fake story compared to what people are experiencing in real life. What do you think? Is crime all in the heads of the victims, like our progressive leaders love to tell us? Or is it actually happening? And that's why people don't feel safe. And that's why businesses, restaurants, stores, you name it, are pulling out, fleeing the capital of our country. Let me know. Thank you for watching. See you soon. Bye.
Dry eye relief with
Yes,